Welcome to Eat Sleep Nerd, a podcast where you can check out, go AFK, and relax with us as we discuss all things nerd. Comic books, video games, movies, TV shows, and anything else that gets geeks more worked up than a vampire in a blood bank.
In this episode, we review and discuss Renfield and The Mandalorian Chapter 23. But first, we check in with the nerdy news to discuss trailer reactions for The Marvels, The Penguin, and The Continental, HBO Max being rebranded as The Max, the Harry Potter TV series remake, and more. And welcome to episode number 23. I'm your dorky DJ, Corey Winter, and as always, I am joined by my nerdy brother, Josh Winter, and our geeky friends, Jason Summer and Christian James.
Wah, 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 wah.
You can't cut off our music early.
So first off, why can't it layer sound effects?
Okay, I don't know. I'll layer it in post. It's fine.
There you go.
So,
We'll fix it in post.
all right, so this is a interesting little scenario we have here because this is our second time recording this episode. And I just want the audience to know that we're just going the extra mile for everybody because we just don't know how cameras work.
Well,
Technology changes every day.
But there was a benefit.
There was a benefit. Now we have Jason. We were not expecting to have Jason this episode.
Right.
We did not have Jason.
That's right. I
We put Jason in post.
I'm just actually listening to this after they're done, and then I'm just commenting, and Corey's going to add it later.
And the other plus was that the vibe was just off the last time we did this, and I think it's because we were missing Jason.
It felt forced.
We were missing our
Stop.
wise...
Whatever it is.
Okay.
Nothing good can come out of it.
Right. I'm like,
Summer is here.
yes. It's always summer when I'm around.
So, Jason, you are the closest that you have been to us in months, but you're still not here.
Yeah, I'm 50 miles away right now.
And yet you're still not here.
Right.
And I like your bunk bed you have going on there. That's cute.
Oh, yeah. So this isn't my room that I'm staying in. This is the grandkids' room.
Okay.
Because I'm at my father's.
Pinocchio behind you?
Yes,
that's
Pinocchio.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
cool.
Nice
Cool.
and canary yellow.
Right. Yeah. So they're spoiled. I'll tell you that. I didn't have any of this. Like, we were not this colorful growing up. Mm-mm.
Bro, tell me about it.
Right.
White walls.
White?
That's
What are you
it.
talking about? We had wood paneling.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Shiplap. Yeah, there was
so
wood paneling in
old.
my house.
That
yeah.
wasn't shiplap, son. That was just old wood panel.
But
All
yeah,
right,
I'm like,
so
it's like I'm so close, but not.
Yeah, you're so close. We'll touch you soon, I guess.
Well, hold up.
That's
We'll be together soon.
We'll be together soon. As I mentioned on the last episode, we have a big episode coming up. We have episode number 54, where we are going to be doing a big ol' recap because we are going in person to the Huntsville Comic Expo, where we are meeting.
simmer down now,
Every
Josh.
time.
Simmer down.
Where we are meeting people such as William Shatner, Brent Spiner, and a bunch of other Star Trek people. There's a bunch
John
of people.
Delancey, Gates McFadden.
Yeah, John Delancey, Gates
Yes.
McFadden.
Yep. So we're going to be doing. So Josh, Christian, and Jason will be at the expo all weekend. I won't be able to be there until the last day, unfortunately. But Eat Sleep Nerd will be there in person. So if you're listening to this episode and you'll be at the expo, come say hi. We'll be around somewhere. We are bringing a camera and a microphone.
That's right.
So if you want to be on the podcast, make a special appearance. Show up.
Yes.
Say
The
hi.
three of us will be alternating, doing guerrilla interviews.
There you go. But also the episode number 54 is going to be big because we are wrapping up Star Trek Picard. We're going to be doing a big old season finale. So we're actually skipping that episode and review this episode. But we're going to be doing a big old series and season finale of Picard on episode number 54. So it's going to be a big old Star Trek episode. Also, Jason, you are reviewing Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores DLC on next episode. So
I will try.
I said you were set in stone, sir. You have to commit.
Hey,
He did. He gave you the finger and everything. You will.
You will.
like the Darth Vader finger.
Well, even without that,
Yes.
it's going to be a big episode. So
Yes.
make sure you tune into that episode number 54.
But if I don't have it for next episode, it'll certainly
it'll
be the
come.
one episode after that.
Yeah. So April 25th, look out for that episode. It's going to be a fun one. But also coming up soon, episode number 55 is also going to be a big one because we're going to be, as a team, reviewing Star Wars Jedi Survivor, the new video game coming out on April 28th. We're also going to be watching the new Sisu movie. Sisu. So that's going to be a fun one to review.
It's foreign. We're branching out.
Yeah, every time we do a foreign film, it goes well for us. So hopefully this one also does that as well. And then one more big episode coming up, episode number 56. It's going to be our big Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 movie review. So 3 big episodes coming out soon. So be sure you keep coming back and click that subscribe button on YouTube, youtube.com/@eatsleepnerd, and click that bell button so you make sure, so you know when these videos are coming out every week. Okay, so you don't miss anything. We got some big stuff coming out.
This is important.
Big stuff.
Big
stuff. Also, I forgot to mention, when we're doing our big Comic-Con Expo, Jason will be here in person, in studio.
That's right.
For the first time. So we're all going to be together for the first time in months.
I think
since last year.
Yeah, I think this will. It could cause like a collapse, like a gravitational collapse in the studio there. Just that much.
I think he was going for there's so much nerdy in one room. It might
just so the intensity of the nerdiness and geekiness all in one place is just gonna pull everything in. Gravitational forces will be so intense that nothing can escape and cause you a black hole right here.
Still sounds like a fat thing.
Or
no, wow.
Commenting on my cleanliness.
We all bring our own issues to the table.
Oh goodness! So already take 2 in this episode. It's already up to a better start.
Yeah.
So Jason, we have been missing you today. Thank you for showing up. Yeah. We love you. Can't wait to see
love
you
guys too. Can't wait to see you guys. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Yes. So on this note, what are we geeking out on? And because we love you so much, Jason, you go first. What have you been geeking out on this week? We have a new transitional.
That's loud. Josh is going a little heavy-handed over there.
Yeah.
Wham! My ears.
I have one job on this ship.
I'm going to do it. What have I done this week? This week was mostly prep. I haven't done much in the way of geek. Sorry,
right, so
it's been prep.
Josh, what have you been on?
And moving on.
I'm just kidding. What you got?
No, we're good. Josh, go ahead. No, I was just prepping to come down to the area, so that's kind of what I focused on.
I was gonna say I have to imagine this is a busy couple of weeks for you.
It kind of is, yeah.
Like it's a vacation, but there's a lot of stress that comes with vacation,
right? And I actually don't have any off days. Like I can work remotely.
You're still working,
right? Yeah. So I'm doing everything in the evenings and on the weekend. What? So yeah. Anyway, okay. Jeez. I'll have more geeky stuff next week. So move on.
You'll have so much geeky stuff next week.
So much geeky. So much.
It's gonna be huge.
Huge.
All right, Josh. What about you?
Huge geeky stuff. No,
no, we're moving on.
Okay.
So.
No, kind of like just I don't know if I would call this geeky, but I did binge a show, and I mean the entire show. I've watched all of Yellowstone this week because I impulse watched 2 episodes. Mm-hmm. And when I was done, I texted you guys and I said, I watched 2 episodes of Yellowstone and now I want to be a cowboy. And it's true. I still
want to be a cowboy.
Jason, did you bring your PS5?
I did.
So we're going to LAN party up some Red Dead. We're all going to be some cowboys.
Yeah,
cowboys,
I downloaded everything I was supposed to download. So
yes.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So when you get a chance, play that tutorial so we can squat up.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Yellowstone.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's amazing. So like, I mean, clearly it is. I watched, it's 10 episodes a season. So I watched 50 episodes in a week.
Jeez.
Like,
there's been that many. Yep. There's been that many seasons.
So they're halfway. So I guess technically it's 45 episodes. They are halfway. They're in the mid-season break of season 5.
Huh.
But when you consider that it already has 2 spinoffs, and originally it was only supposed to be a 10-episode limited series, like it took off like really hard. And I heard people kept talking about it. Even Mom and Dad like bought the box set.
Yeah,
and
they love it. Yeah,
and they've been going through like 2 or 3 episodes a night. And so I was browsing the old Peacock, which is severely underrated. And I was just like, you know what? I'll watch an episode. I like Kevin Costner. I like Westerns. And I was expecting it to be kind of just, modern Western, guy runs a ranch or whatever. It's not. It is so much more than that. It is The Godfather in Montana. And the premise of it is that Kevin Costner has his family ranch, which is larger than the state of Rhode Island. He's the largest landowner in Montana.
Wow.
And because Montana is starting to come up and get more developed, he is desperately trying to preserve his property. And it gets very political and very, very intriguing. And there's he's a crime boss. He doesn't like to see himself that way, but that's what he is. He's going to preserve what is his by any means necessary. And so it's fascinating as a character study, and it's just a blast. Highly recommended. 5 out of 5.
Yeah. When I hear development in Montana, that seems like a fake story.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what he was talking about. Like that's the running premise of the show is just Montana is huge and it's 99% empty. Why the heck are they trying to build next to my land?
For all of our Montana listeners, I feel like I've said this before. You are just as important as everybody else.
Comment, share some insight. Yeah. What's going on in Montana?
Yeah.
Show the other 6 people in Montana.
No, that's a serious question. What is going on in Montana?
Cattle.
Like what's happening?
Moo.
Just a bunch of snow caps.
Jason just moo.
But yeah, highly recommended. I'm gonna make Corey watch soon if he doesn't watch.
Oh, it's been on my list forever. I just haven't gotten around to it.
But yeah,
I've heard some rave reviews. I might check it out.
Yeah.
Every single episode on IMDb is rated 8 or higher.
Yeah.
Oh,
like that's insane when you think about it.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Christian.
As for me, I was missing last episode.
Oh yeah, Christian's back.
Welcome back, Christian.
Hello. It's like I never left. Yeah, shooting a wedding. It was really nice down there in Gunnersville.
Which is just one big lake.
One big lake.
Just to define this.
Yes. And I was at
the lake.
Where was the wedding, Christian?
It was at a lodge.
At
He can't.
The lake?
He probably
around the lake.
Yeah. He probably
Yes.
can't. He's probably being.
The first time we recorded this, we were like, "Where was your wedding?" And he was like, "In Gunnersville." And I was like, "Oh, where in Gunnersville?" Because I go there a lot for work. And he goes, "At the lake."
Which is
the whole city is at the lake. That's why it's there.
It was on the shores of the
I
lake.
mean, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a big wedding. They had like 250 people registered to be at this wedding. They had 12 groomsmen and bridesmaids.
Okay.
Oh no.
No, yeah, a lot of people showed up.
Okay.
It was a great time. They had a band. The band was really cool.
So they went with the band, not a DJ?
Yeah.
Okay.
Full band. But I had a great time. But other than that, I got back into The Flash. I'm like third season. A lot of the crossover episodes that you were talking about were
starting to show up.
Ridiculous. Because the first one I came across was like continued on the Arrow.
Yeah.
And at that time, Arrow was in season 7. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm just missing a lot.
Yeah.
And it was like a disconnected story. So I was like, why does this happen? I don't get it.
Okay, so it tells you that it's continued on another show. Does it tell you what episode of that show you need to go watch?
I don't
Nope.
think so. No.
Awesome.
Nope.
No,
it
it
just
is
says
just
continued.
Figure it out.
It's continued on
Yeah.
Arrow.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, it took me like 5 minutes to find it. So I was like, oh yeah, what year did this episode come out? So I was like, all right, I matched it up with Arrow and found
Did you
it.
actually go watch the Arrow episode?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Was
But-
it worth it?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
It was not. Like
Yeah.
I was intrigued by the story they were telling in that episode, but I was like, do I really want to do that? And I did.
Just
And
just
regret
wait until you've got 6 different CW DC shows, and they're doing a crisis episode, and they're all like each series has its own contributing episode to the entire story, and then you got to go figure out.
I
Which
think
one.
I'm on the second. I think I'm on the second crisis episode in the Flash.
Okay.
And I was like, there was a bunch of other characters that weren't in the first one, and I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
so there's 5 other shows I need to watch to
Yeah.
be
Christian's
caught
sitting
up
here
with
going,
that.
who are these people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
pretty
Where did they
much.
come from?
Yeah.
And apparently the group of people that showed up in the one episode have their own show.
You're talking about
And I'm like, oh my god,
Legends of Tomorrow.
yeah.
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 Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. Great.
Legends of Tomorrow was
Great.
both the best and the
Yeah,
worst
I like that
of the
one.
CW shows, depending on where you are
Right.
in Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Anytime John Constantine was there, it was awesome.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
But then, also got into some Star Wars. Saw the first episode of Rebels.
Okay.
Just to see where I would be at on watching it. The animation style, it kind of took me out a little bit, but I'm going to give it a chance and try to continue it.
Has anyone here watched Rebels before?
No. I've watched most of Clone Wars, and I need to finish it.
I think we need to go on Rebels, because I feel like that's going to be pretty important for Ahsoka.
Yeah.
No, although the director, I forget who it was exactly, he came out actually today saying you don't have to watch Rebels to understand Ahsoka, but it is a enhancer for the series.
In which I've also heard that, one of the later Mandalorian episodes had a Rebels character in it.
Yeah, 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, they've been a couple.
So I guess it's something to watch.
Yeah. And it's good. Yeah. All right. You've been watching some stuff.
Been doing the thing.
Proud of you.
What about you, Corey?
So this week, didn't have too much time to do stuff, but with our big upcoming Star Wars Jedi Survivor video game review coming out soon, I wanted to go revisit the first game of the series. So Star Wars, I always forget the name of it, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. And because I never actually finished it when it first came out. I played it, I bought it the day it came out, but I just never finished it because, as I've mentioned on this podcast before, I couldn't get past the level design. It felt like it took forever to do anything and go anywhere. It felt very repetitive to me, but as Josh mentioned before, I think it was because I wasn't sure what the game was before I got into it. So I was not aware that the game was actually structured like that.
Linear.
So
it's a platformer.
On the second playthrough that I'm doing right now, it's actually a lot more enjoyable because I know what to expect.
It's Uncharted in space.
And I actually thought that the second time I was playing it, I was like, oh, this actually kind of reminds me of Uncharted. I like it a lot more now.
Yeah, I was going to say, like you really shouldn't hate that style. Like, you love some games that are made like that.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I vehemently despise platformers, actually. But
no. So yeah, I've been playing that this week. Hopefully I'll finish that before this new game comes out. So
whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah, the name of it makes me think of a storyline that could be possible, like Fallen Order, like Order 66 didn't go through, or it got foiled, and the story that comes after that.
So the story actually takes place pretty soon after Order 66. So you're in the right timeline.
You should play it.
Yeah,
I'll look into it.
Cool.
Well,
all right.
Now that you can, Christian.
Yes,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Christian has a PS5. We have all been upgraded to current gen
or
consoles.
do I to you thieves out there?
Oh. They don't know where you live. It's fine. All right. So, do you guys want to get into the nerdy news?
Hit it, Josh.
All right. So we have 5 things we want to talk about, including our trailer reactions. But we're going to start with this weird story that just makes no sense whatsoever from a marketing branding perspective. So, HBO Max is to be renamed Max with the addition of Discovery Plus content. The launch date and pricing have also been revealed. So, Warner Brothers Discovery has officially announced Max as the new name of its flagship streamer, lopping off the HBO part of its name as it mixes in a big bucket of new content from Discovery Plus and other new original series. The company announced the name change at a press event Wednesday, where it also revealed a slate of upcoming projects. So before we get into the pricing and everything, how do we feel about this?
This immediately makes me think of late 90s, early 2000s, like super high energy marketing campaigns, like Monster drinks or Red Bull. Like, it's Max streaming.
To the Max.
So many platforms.
Lunchables, Max.
So many networks bringing it all to one place. You're maxing out with Max. Just, that's what.
If they actually did marketing like that, I'd be all in. I'd be all for this name rebrand, but that's not what they're doing.
Oh, okay. What are they doing?
They're just simplifying their name for no reason. They're losing the most recognizable part of their brand, HBO.
Yeah.
Like,
so what kills me is I feel like this was a zero effort thing, because and we'll talk about it in a second. You'll notice it at the end when we do trailers. The end of Penguin, which is going to be on Max.
Yeah.
The logo, they literally just lopped off the HBO part.
So they didn't even
nothing
redesign
about
the
Max
font or
has
anything?
changed. They didn't even they didn't
Yeah.
change the colors, they didn't change the font, they didn't change literally it is the bottom half of the old logo. And like even during the intro you called it the Max. That would have been better. The helps. Like I don't know what it is, but I mean it is awful.
Yeah.
It is terrible.
Yeah, it's like calling McDonald's Donald's.
Yeah. Not even the Donald's.
Right.
Yeah.
If you told me we were going to go have dinner at the Donald's, okay.
You know where that
That
is.
sounds cool.
The Don.
Yeah. But no, hey, we're going to go have dinner at Donald's.
Right.
Yeah.
That doesn't make me think McDonald's.
No.
So I don't.
Makes me think of like a subpar like seafood
Right.
restaurant.
I was thinking
Yeah.
it was like some steakhouse that's trying and failing. It's just
Yeah. They're trying real
Right.
hard.
No, I mean it. And to me, even if you were going to lose the HBO part, maybe they don't want to be known as just HBO, which I think was the idea.
Yeah.
We don't want people to think it's shoehorned. Okay, well, Discovery owns it now. Why couldn't we call it Discovery Max?
which actually I think
or
sounds
something
better.
like. Thank you.
Yeah.
Everyone during the initial go around of this recording thought so too.
Yeah.
But
Pretty brilliant.
Or what
So,
about
I mean-
WB Max?
yeah, Warner Brothers
Right.
Max, like
Yeah.
that could be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it. All I'm saying is that in the 3 minutes we've been talking about it, we have come up with at least 2 better names.
And Max is it's not a brand; it's someone's name. And I mentioned this on the last recording of this episode.
It's a measurement.
That's a person's name. That is not a brand.
Yeah.
Like
It's a measurement.
it's a measurement.
Coming this summer to TED. Like it
Actually
just
sounds
doesn't.
kind of cool.
It's
Yeah.
the far end of a
Maybe
measurement
it's how you say
spectrum. Max. Right.
Max.
All right, so this rebranded Max, and actually, I guess they're rebuilding the app from the ground up. It's going to be relaunching on May 23rd in the US. It's going to be launching on a new website, max.com.
Dumb. Still dumb.
And it'll be launching with, I guess, some new TV shows and stuff.
40 new titles.
Yes. But there's also some new pricing. And there are 3 tiers. The entry-level tier is it's Max Ad Lite. It's $10 a month or $100 a year. You can get 2 concurrent streams, 1080p HD resolution, no offline downloads, and 5.1 surround sound quality. Max Ad Free for $16 a month or $150 a year. Pretty much all the same things, but you can do 30 offline downloads. And then the high tier is Max Ultimate Ad Free for $20 a month or $200 a year. You can have 4 concurrent streams, up to 4K Ultra HD resolution, 100 offline downloads, and Dolby Atmos sound quality. So if you want the full experience, you're paying $20 a month.
Max
What's
Ultimate
the,
Ad Free plus Extreme. With
More,
2
more,
X's.
more.
Like,
What's the current?
I
Why
don't,
don't they just call it Max Max?
That would be an excellent plan name.
That would've been good.
I mean, that's leading into it. I like it.
it is worth pointing out, I think, that the middle tier, which is not 4K, is what the current price is
Okay.
for HBO Max, which is $16 a month.
Yeah.
So we're also sneaking in a price hike.
Where you getting more stuff?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I want to watch Sex in the City at 4K. Yeah, that sounds cool.
Why was that the one you chose?
I mean, that's like a staple of HBO.
Oh, okay.
Checks out.
But also, like,
Not Game of Thrones or something.
100 offline downloads. Like, what?
I don't
What do you do
think
with
I've
that?
ever downloaded an episode of anything.
I've
No.
downloaded it a couple of times when I knew I was not going to have internet for a couple hours.
I was going to say, the only time I've ever done it was on flights.
But it was only like 1 or 2 things.
Yeah, I download like 2 movies.
So you're paying $20 a month to do maybe.
Well, I think
That's
I think
actually-
it's the Atmos, Dolby, and the 4K is what they're really wanting people
And
to
that
pay for.
is nice. But
Yeah.
they're trying to add value with something that literally no one uses. They're trying to say, oh, you can have 100 offline downloads.
Name the last time you were offline.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
They're trying to make it sound like so
watchers
much.
And listeners, if you download a lot of streaming content, let us know. And like, what's your monthly download count?
And why?
Yeah, why? Yeah.
Why are you doing that?
Let's do a little survey.
Essay format.
How relevant is this option for Max?
Does the empty space on your phone just bother you? Is that what it is?
Okay, unlike some people in our podcast, I have no judgment. I just want to know.
Yeah. No, I actually am genuinely curious.
I'm not judging. I'm just confused.
I want to know if when WB announced these prices, if they did see that people were downloading that much stuff, so they made that a part of the
we're
price.
We're asking. Maybe we're the weirdos.
Yeah.
Maybe we're the ones who are being
but
weird
I
by
don't know
not
about
downloading
this
stuff. Yeah.
I'm just saying, nearly everywhere I go, I'm connected to the internet.
Yeah.
So when am I going to use it?
I have to go out of my way to be off the internet.
True.
It requires effort to be off the internet.
They're that being like a world traveler, like going to the EU or something or like Malaysia.
But even planes have Wi-Fi now.
We're gonna get some doctor without borders who comes on here and is just like, well, actually, while I'm doing cleft palate surgery in the Serengeti.
But then again, that's like,
and then Josh would have to go.
It could be a workaround not to pay for the
If you are a Doctors Without Borders in the Serengeti doing cleft palate surgery, leave a comment with your address, and I will ship you an Eat Sleep Nerd T-shirt.
There you go.
So there you go.
Once they exist,
we're super close.
I'm getting to it.
Super close. I'll make one just for that guy or gal. If they're doing cleft palate surgery in the Serengeti.
All right.
Free T-shirt.
So, speaking of Max, let's move into our next story.
I want to know what this segue is. Let's see what we got.
I'm loving this new transition sound. I'm so glad you found this.
Thank you.
It was sitting right there in front of us the entire time.
It's literally right next to the old one.
Yeah. All right. So our next story. A TV series based on the Harry Potter books was officially announced today for Max, Warner Brothers' newly announced streaming platform.
Did he do this last recording?
Yes, actually he did. All right, so during the WB Discovery streaming call, it was revealed that the series will be a faithful adaptation of the novels. A new cast will be playing the characters, and the series has been given a massive 10-year commitment. And IGN, whose article I'm reading, says it's worth noting that the 10-year commitment does not necessarily mean 10 seasons. It just means that the series will play out over the course of a decade. So they also went on to say that each season will be a full novel. So there's going to be at least 7 seasons. So about a decade after the movie series ended, we're now getting a complete reboot. How does this make us feel?
I'm done with these boots.
Too many boots.
Tired of these boots. Too many boots.
And this is coming off the heels of several other big franchise reboots, like Lord of the Rings and...
I was going to say, so, I mean, like, I played the dumpster fire thing, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of ways this could end up being a dumpster fire. I'm going to watch it. Like, here's the weird thing, because I know I put more time into it than this, but for some reason telling me up front that this is a 10-year thing almost made me not want to watch it. Like, you're asking for a 10-year commitment on my part. Ooh-wee. I don't know if I want to watch something for 10 years.
I think it's also kind of encouraging for a Harry Potter franchise because you know it's got to cover 7 books.
Yeah.
And so you don't want, a lot of people like me, I don't want to invest in something if I don't know it's going to get the entire conclusion. Like, I don't want to go watch this series if it's only going to be able to cover 2 novels before it gets canceled.
You don't want to get fireflied.
Yeah. It's like, this is actually encouraging that they're telling me they're committing to a full 10 years. So if they can squeeze all 7 novels in there, they're going to. So like that actually makes me feel good about it.
You know who else committed to a full run? Henry Cavill.
Boom.
Oh.
And you know what?
Go ahead, Jace.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Jace.
No, Christian, you go.
You know what? Like, if you get through let's say we get through a novel, right? And they're already committed to this 10-year thing, and it's trash.
Are we saying under no circumstances they're going to stop it? They're just going to parade this turd, no matter how bad it stinks?
Just keep polishing that thing?
That's a good point, coming off the heels of canceling finished movies like Batgirl. I don't know.
What are you thinking, Jason?
Oh, I'm thinking. Okay, so I'm kind of.
We know you're
okay
a huge
with
Potterhead.
this. No, well, what I was going to say is,
really?
I have a very
I think so.
unpopular opinion about Harry Potter movies. I wasn't a fan of them.
Oh,
Wait, hold on.
I thought
you
they were-
said this. I want to ask you a question because I think your thoughts might mirror my own.
Okay.
I feel profoundly and deep in my soul, Harry Potter is the worst part of the Harry Potter universe.
Let me think on that one.
Okay.
Basically, I thought the movies were boring.
Okay.
And
Our dad's
and the colors were so muted,
and they got progressively more muted.
yeah.
As the series went.
You know, and there was nothing vibrant or lively about the movies to me. So if they can do this differently with a different cast, I might enjoy it better, and I'm open to that.
So I will say, I watched, I think, the first 3 movies when they came out in theaters, then I just fell off. But then a few years ago, Andre, he's been on this podcast a few episodes ago.
Literally one time.
Yes. We sat down one weekend and we binged all 8 movies, and we had the best time. Like, they were amazing movies if you just watch them back to back to back to back to back. So I don't know.
Well, good.
Yeah.
I know that I'm in the minority. I know that. So
yeah.
No, I'm kind of right.
I'm not saying you're wrong. Just saying for me.
Yeah. I know. So yeah, a complete reboot. Less than 10 years after the movies.
I mean, it's more than 10 years after the movies.
Like 12 years after the movies.
Now on the flip side, Spider-Man has done well.
See, that was Josh's point. Dang it! I don't like when you guys line up.
I got you, buddy.
And speaking of Marvel, Jason, what do you think about this? Like, could we also blame this on Marvel?
Everything has to be a huge franchise.
Yeah, even though they indirectly did this.
Yeah, and it's really funny that it's WB and Warner Brothers because they just can't seem to learn a lesson.
Well, so that's my point. And
Justice League.
IGN's article mentions this, is that Harry Potter is actually the most profitable franchise for WB. It would actually be kind of stupid for them to not continue Harry Potter in some way, because that's their cash cow.
And they just had their butts whipped on Fantastic Beasts. Yeah. So now they're scared to get away from the source material.
Yeah.
So the logical thing to do would be to redo the source material.
Yeah.
But I do think they realized if they just did movies again, no one would go see it. So they're using the format as a reason to do it. Oh, everyone said the movies were so short and they cut out so much. Well, now you're going to have like 12 hours per book that you can go through. We're not going to cut a thing. You'll be able to read along.
And that mostly worked for Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I mean,
Game of Thrones would not be the phenomenon that it is today if it had been movies instead of TV.
Right.
True.
And honestly, we're hoping for more treatment like that to long saga series like The Dark Tower.
Yeah.
Let's be clear.
Could work.
Eat, Sleep, Nerd
this could work.
is in favor of long format storytelling.
Yeah. Right. I'm not against the Harry Potter being a TV series. I'm just against rebooting something so soon after a really successful version of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it feels
but as Jason said, we also got 6 Spider-Man reboots in one decade. They would bump into each other on the shooting lot between
it's not exactly how that
they
worked
literally
out.
all the Spider-Man ended up in a movie somehow.
That's a good
in one movie.
Yeah, they're so close their movies literally overlap.
Right.
I guess just in general, I'm kind of against the rebooting things when I am not even that old, and like things have been rebooted multiple times in my life so far.
Corey, you are old now.
I'm not old.
I'm just saying.
We usually hear like the word reboot if something didn't work very well.
Yeah.
Right.
But now Harry Potter worked really well.
Technology has gotten so much better.
Yeah.
First off, seeing fully realized ultra high definition magic.
And
that
I
might be kind of neat.
They're not billing this as a reboot. That's just our word.
No.
They're just saying this is a new adaptation of it. So
right.
From the same people who made the last adaptation.
So that's coming. I don't know. Did they put a date on it? I don't think they have. It's just coming at some point.
It's heading our way.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm sure that's a couple years away at least. All right, I just
That is like an
segued. All right. All right, so our next one is actually another big universe announcement. So we knew during James Gunn's big DCU announcement a couple months ago, he unveiled a Creature Commandos animated TV series. And this is actually the first project.
Because it's a joke.
Oh,
right.
This is actually the first project in the big DCU that has an official cast announced for it. So this is the big DC upcoming monster team up.
So this is the technical first movie or first property.
Yes.
In the DCU, the new
yes
DCU.
And I butchered pretty much every single one of these names on the last recording of this episode. So Josh, you are now tasked with reading all these names. So it's the second paragraph right here.
Yeah. Again, we're reading from IGN.
Yep.
This series will star Frank Grillo or Grillo. Is it Grillo?
It might be Grillo.
He's Italian, I believe.
Yeah.
So
Grillo could be
the actor most famous for playing.
He's Italian.
He's famous for playing Crossbones in the MCU.
Yeah. So, Mr. Frank, if you're listening, and I know you are, I'm sorry, we're trying. Anyway, the series will star Frank Grillo as Rick Flag Sr., who I'm assuming is Rick Flag's father.
Makes sense.
Now, we've seen Rick Flag in the Suicide Squad movies, right?
Played by old Joel. Oh, what is his name?
Does it start with a mech?
No, it's not a mech. Joel.
I had wrong Joel.
Man, what is his name?
I thought it was like
Schumacher.
McKinnon or something.
Yeah, Joel McKenna. McKenna.
Doesn't matter.
Anyway.
Go look him up.
Rick Flag.
Yeah. David Harbour as Eric Frankenstein. Indira Varma as the bride. Maria Bakalova as Princess Ilana Rostovic. Zoe Chow as Nina Mazursky. And Alan Tudyk as Dr. Phosphorus. Sean Gunn, the brother of James Gunn, will also voice both Weasel and G.I. Robot. And Steve Agee is reprising his role as John Economos.
It's a pretty freaking good cast.
That's the IT guy, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Old diebeard.
Yes.
Diebeard.
So yeah, some actors that we've already seen in DCU projects. Obviously, Sean Gunn voiced Weasel in Suicide Squad. But some big names making their appearance. David Harbour.
Harbour. You always put an O at the end of it.
Harbour. That's and a big thing to note is that when James Gunn announced his DCU, he said that anyone that voices characters in animation will also play their live action counterparts. So it's very possible we see these big name actors.
Yeah, it's all one universe.
Yeah, so it's very possible we see people like Alan Tudyk in live action playing these characters, which is pretty cool.
Now,
that'd be cool.
I pointed this out last time, and it's too good to not point out. There was a meme that had a picture of Henry Cavill Superman and Weasel next to each other. They said one of these characters survived the jump to the DCU, and the other one didn't.
I think they picked the strongest character.
yeah, clearly
the one with the one that was most popular,
largest fan base,
most well known, right?
Super committed to the role.
The one that was
had the most hair.
The director,
yeah. Best lines.
Yeah. Look, I'm not saying that he's purposely putting his friends and family into stuff, but at the same time, when you've been accused of it 18 times,
so
maybe it's time to back off it a little bit, even if you're not doing it on purpose.
So here's the thing. If I was James Gunn in charge of this big, I'm defending him. If I was James Gunn in charge of this big universe of stuff, I'm not going to not put you in the projects. Like, I'm not going to tell you, no, go find another job somewhere else when I can just give you a job.
I mean,
yeah,
I get it.
but
at the same time,
I think what Josh is saying is like it seems like it's at the expense of important characters and actors.
Yeah.
And
we still don't know who Superman is.
Right.
But we got Weasel on lock.
Right.
Fully committed.
But it's also thinking like who's best for the role. And it just so happened to be his wife, and two, his brother.
First of all, I love his wife.
Yeah, yeah, she was amazing.
And I love Sean Gunn too. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, to be fair, like none of this has been bad. Yeah. I'm just saying from the outside looking in.
Not the best, yeah.
Like, just, oof, it's not a good look.
Yeah.
It's just not a
honestly,
good look.
I think we're all still hurting from the Henry Cavill thing. Honestly.
I am.
I think we're all kind of bitter.
I will never not
It's
be
going to take a
hurting
minute.
from that.
and the Ben Affleck thing, too, honestly. So.
I'm going to hurt from that until the Warhammer 40K show comes out.
Yeah.
Then I'll probably feel a lot better.
Until that one gets Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Oof.
Oh, God.
He's in charge of it. It's not going to happen.
I'm just saying.
Is he going to Henry
Could
Cavill
Henry Cavill
himself?
Yeah.
Like, you know what, Henry? It's not working out. It's not the direction we wanted.
He's just talking in a mirror.
Yeah.
So, dang it, Cavill. Why are you so hard on me? Henry, I told you this, but Cavill.
All right, let's move into
Start
one
doing
more
his best
story.
Gollum impression.
All right, so we have touched on this one previously. We actually talked about the rumor of it back on episode 48 of this podcast. Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. There were rumors that this game was going to get pushed back a whole year, out of this year completely, after the fan backlash, after its most recent public demo of this game. Well, it has been officially confirmed. So Rocksteady has officially delayed Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League all the way to February 2024. Quite a few months from its
Was
previous...
this the one that was pushed back 6 weeks?
Was it? Was this one previously pushed back?
So there were.
It's like, oh, we'll push it back 6 weeks to tweak.
Yeah, so there were
Yeah.
rumors. They never put a timeline on it. There were rumors after their showcase that they were going to push things back. But we're not changing. We're polishing.
Yeah.
We're tweaking and we're polishing. And then the news came out, what was it, a couple days ago now?
Yeah, so Rocksteady tweeted a little announcement on April 13th saying, "We have made the tough but necessary decision to take the time needed to work on getting the game to be the best quality experience for players. Thank you to our amazing community for continued support, patience, and understanding. There is much more to share in the months ahead, and we look forward to seeing you in Metropolis next year." So after their most recent showcase, I believe it was at a Sony showcase that I might be misremembering.
I'm pretty sure it was.
But the backlash was so heavy because it just didn't look like a Rocksteady quality game. Like, the gameplay was just pretty basic, and there was a lot of backlash about the live service portion of the game. And it was just very different than the games we've known from Rocksteady, from like the Arkham games.
Yeah. Well, it looks it got Fortnited.
Yeah.
Is what it was. And good God, we don't need any more Fortnites.
Yeah.
Fortnite is almost 2 Fortnite now. Like we're good.
Yeah. So basically an entire year's worth of delay for this game. Kind of sounds like they're going to be completely changing.
Yeah,
gameplay.
that ain't polish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love the thank you for your patience. Didn't have it in the
I mean,
first
what else
place.
can they say, though? I mean,
Say, my bad. It's not working out. Like, it's
Actually,
so
I would have
play this
loved
for
that
another
announcement.
year.
yeah.
Our bad.
Yeah, like, no, really. Like,
Just own it.
I would have
Yeah.
I would have liked the crap out of that tweet. Hey guys, we need another year. Our bad.
Cool.
If that was the whole tweet, that would have been amazing.
Yeah.
But
All right, now, Christian, you're the one that's on Twitter so much. I think you should set that to Rocksteady on their Twitter.
Hey,
account.
I'll be part of the PR team.
Okay.
I'll be like the new Wendy's on Twitter.
I have a feeling you'd be very good at that. You'd
right,
be
you're in.
excellent at
You're
that.
in. Yeah. So a game we have not had too high an expectation for. Maybe after one more year. Maybe it'll be something. Maybe.
We'll see.
We'll see. Yet again, this is also something to look forward to because it's Kevin Conroy's last appearance as Batman. So I want to play it just for that.
Yeah.
So hopefully they do this game justice. They do him justice. Justice League.
Because right now it's Injustice.
Our bad, guys. We know it sucked.
Aw.
Starting over, making Superman game instead.
And they've always done so well.
Isn't someone supposed to be making a Superman game?
It was supposed to be Rocksteady.
Oh, well, there you go.
Awkward.
Yeah.
And apparently they made a
demo?
playable demo,
Yeah.
and the folks in charge said, why don't you do Fortnite Suicide Squad instead?
Because everybody loves Fortnite.
Yeah.
Aren't all the kids Fortniting? Isn't that what they're doing?
All right,
Or
Josh.
Minecrafting.
Give me a little segue here. All right, let's get into some trailer reactions. We're actually going to be doing this one slightly different than we have in the past because now we're on video. You can find us on YouTube, youtube.com/@eatsleepnerd. So if you are listening on podcast only, if you want to get the full experience, go check out this episode on YouTube because we will be putting these trailers into the episode so you can watch along with us as we react to what we're seeing. We're going to be providing live commentary. What are you laughing at?
No, it was just youtube.com/eatsleepnerd. And then my head was like .com, 20 years or more.com. Eat Sleep Nerd. Eat Sleep Nerd, always going.com. youtube.com/eatsleepnerd.com.
Anyway, so we're reacting to 3 trailers. It's going to be the Marvels, the Continental, and the Penguins. We're going to be starting with the Marvels, the upcoming MCU movie that's coming out this November.
Okay. And we will be talking over these while they're going on. Yes. So don't expect to be able to watch these uninterrupted.
You want to see this.
We're going to interrupt the heck out of them.
Yes, I will be providing the links to the actual trailers without us, if you just want to watch that for some reason, in the show notes on this episode. So first up is the first trailer for the Marvels.
Captain Rambo? What the hell are you doing?
It's a very Nick Fury thing to say.
Right.
I'm gonna get you some readings, Fury.
I wonder what the perimeter is.
Hello?
The perimeter of what?
What is that thing?
Yeah. It's a direct tie back to when in WandaVision they said that she wanted to talk to somebody up there.
Oh. That like new Hex?
Also, the soundtrack?
Another dimension?
Right? Beastie Boys?
Love that.
Yeah, I was going to say, who else remembers the Beastie Boys?
Intergalactic, right?
Yeah, I think so,
yes.
yeah.
Yep.
That has to be awkward.
I know. My face is everywhere.
Right?
Hi. We're looking for Kamala Khan.
Okay, so our powers are entangled. I can manipulate light energy. And you... I can totally show you. Not again! Hi. Where's Doctor?
These switches are great.
Yeah, I love that.
Right?
Yeah. I hate that cat. That was the worst part of the first movie.
I love that.
No, they ruined an important character moment for Nick Fury
Yeah.
at the expense of a cat joke.
True.
Looks like there's going to be some cool choreography dance move scenes in this movie.
Maybe it's some really good action.
This has to be a training scene.
We're a team. Oh, no. We're not a team. We're not a team.
I know, Jason. They said they're not a team. I think it's a real fight.
But they are a team. I think that was that same lady that was holding What's Its Hammer.
What's its hammer? What?
Yeah. What's that guy's name? With the black
Thor?
face?
Yeah, Thor, the guy with the hammer.
From the first Guardians. The bad guy in First Guardians. What's his name?
I know what you're talking about. The guy with the blue face.
Yeah, blue face guy.
One of the Kree dudes.
Oh, no, it doesn't matter. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and he shows up again talking to Thanos at some point.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Let's just move along.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I think it looks awesome. I think this is going to be a good balance of action and comedy and lead actress chemistry.
Back in that Marvel sweet spot.
Yeah. And so good point. This is kind of acting like the sequel to 3 different MCU projects, which we have not really had interconnectivity with MCU stuff since Endgame. This is really acting as the sequel to WandaVision because that's where Monica Rambeau came in. This is acting as a sequel to Miss Marvel and a sequel to Captain Marvel. So a bunch of MCU projects from as many as 4 years ago are all coming together for this one movie, which I think is pretty cool. I think that's something that MCU has really been missing. Because Captain Marvel came out before Endgame, right?
Yeah, it was right before.
Yeah, so it's been a while. So I think it's going to be a nice slight team up movie, which I think is where MCU stuff really shines, is where they actually team up to do stuff. It's nice.
And that they've also taken the time to develop the characters prior.
Yeah.
That's the other part.
Yeah.
Which is why the Eternals didn't work.
True.
Oh yeah, you had 700 people having to have like backstories.
Yeah. This is one of the first trailers from Marvel in a while where I actually feel eager to see the movie.
What about Guardians?
Guardians,
you don't.
It looks like it's going to be good. No, it looks like it's going to be good, but it also looks heavy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like,
This one's just
this one looks fun.
Lighter.
So we'll see. I mean, anyway,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and it looks like it's going to be. We're finally getting some Nick Fury back. We have his Secret Invasion show that's coming out this June, and then following this up in November with this movie. So it's nice to see Nick Fury coming back again. It's been a long time since we got a good
question.
What's up?
Okay, so Secret Invasion. What's the timeline on that for this movie?
So Josh was wondering that too, and we're not sure. I don't think it's even really
Does this
been announced.
spoil whether or not Nick Fury makes it through Secret Invasion?
I don't like when Josh and Jason are completely in sync. So
I feel like a lot of people had that question because it's like, does it spoil it or is it before?
Right?
Is it in betwixt?
Josh asked literally that exact same question, almost word for word, in the first recording of this episode. So
I promise we did not compare notes ahead of time.
No, so we have no idea. I don't think. All we know about Secret Invasion is that it involves a Kree invasion. Kree?
I mean, that's what it was in the... Or, no, not Kree, Skrull.
I always get those two confused.
Yeah, they flipped it though, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, it's... We just don't know if that's the plot line they're following. Okay. I mean...
Yeah.
They've named things after things in the comics before, and it really wasn't anything like it. Civil War, for example.
Okay. True.
So...
Yeah, so it may be Secret Invasion takes place after the Marvels. We don't know. But surely they tie together, or else they wouldn't be releasing these projects back to back.
We don't even know if that's the real Nick Fury.
Right?
I just think it's stupid to do two fake Nick Furies. Like that's.
But we never resolved the original fake Nick Fury.
How do you mean?
All we saw was that it wasn't really Nick Fury, and then they never talked about it again.
That's not true. Remember, they called him and let him know, and he was vacationing.
Yeah, he was on the spaceship that we saw in this trailer.
Okay, I'm just saying.
And then he's like, "Fine, I guess they get back into it."
That doesn't wrap it up, though. That doesn't get rid of the people who can pretend to be Nick Fury.
No,
it's
that's
actually
true.
kind of their entire thing.
But we know that the real Nick Fury still is in play.
Yeah,
for now.
Yeah,
I would almost say like we'll see real Nick Fury in Secret Invasion, and then possibly a fake one in Marvels.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
We don't know if the one we're seeing
Fair
in
enough.
Marvels is the real one. Nick Fury still might die in Secret Invasion.
Right.
or maybe he really died all the way back in Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Oh,
It's been a
that's
fake one ever since.
See, and this goes back to when we first started talking about Secret Invasion, the kind of stuff where we're like, nothing has any meaning anymore. We don't know if anybody that actually died was killed.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. But whatever.
I don't like it. It makes me...
I mean, if you're going to kill somebody, they got to stay dead.
God, they did.
I mean, it's all about the off-screen deaths. You don't know if it happened or
Right.
not.
Right?
All right, let's move into our next trailer. That gets me hyped up every time. All right, so this one is a debut trailer for the Continental from the world of John Wick. So this is an upcoming television special?
Event.
It's not actually a television series. It is a 3-part event. So let's
that's
watch.
cool.
Yeah,
so
which we did not know that until this trailer came out.
Yeah. So let's give this trailer a little look-see and see what it's all about.
These are made of these. Who
Oh,
am
Twin
I
Towers.
to
Yeah.
agree? Travel the world in the 7 seas.
Thank you, Christian. A 3-part event. Yeah.
It is a period piece.
It's actually
in the
Blondie.
70s.
It's not Eurythmics.
Lots of guns, of course.
And bad hairdos.
Are they bad or are they hyper stylized?
Bad.
Just bad.
It can be both.
So we're assuming this is Winston.
Young Winston.
Winston.
Which has been confirmed he's the main character.
Oh, okay.
So
September
Yeah, we got a new show to watch in September.
on Peacock.
Yeah.
Which
so-
again,
Peacock! Peacock!
which again, don't sleep on Peacock.
It's the one service I don't have. I don't want to have to go buy.
It's $6.
I'm just saying.
Just saying.
I'm just saying.
Well, you just made it sound like why it's a problem. You just like, I don't want to buy another stream. That
I
means
just- I
you
feel like-
already have
I feel like
every
when I get
single
to
one
the
of them.
point where I have to get all of them, there's a problem. I've been holding out on this last one because I don't want to
Streaming services are like the Infinity Stones. You have to have all
Oh,
of them.
okay. Okay, I'll go get it now.
Yeah.
All right.
Sold.
So the Continental, not a television series apparently, is a 3-part event. So it sounds like 3 episodes, maybe more than an hour long each. That's how these.
So
things-
back in the day, we used to call them TV miniseries,
Yes. Which is, I guess,
and
what it is.
they'd be broken up over 3 Sundays. But
Yes.
like the original It was a miniseries.
Yeah.
With John Ritter and et al. I like that it's in the 70s
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it takes away the instantaneous nature of technology.
Yes.
And I think what it does is it makes you have to highlight characters' ingenuity and ability to collect data as the mystery goes around. I mean, I'm just making speculations here, but
And or dodge the bad guy because it's like you can't
Right?
be tracked via satellite. So
That's
like
interesting.
the suspense.
You can actually
of
get
being
away
found.
from people.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That we know of. This is the John Wick world after all. There may be something out there we don't know about.
I mean, yeah, I mean, like they've got Kevlar suits, so you know. But
So yeah, this trailer didn't show us much. It was barely a minute long, but it sets the tone pretty well. I think this is going to be a good show or miniseries, whatever you want to call it. John Wick,
Limited event.
I don't think John Wick will be in it. He might be a little bit.
no, he'd be a
young for
baby.
this. Yeah.
We baby
He'd be a
John.
baby Wick.
But yeah, should be pretty good. I think we're looking forward to this one, right?
Yeah.
I like how they kept the hyper stylized nature
Yeah.
of the world.
While still doing a period piece.
Right.
That's neat.
All right. Our last trailer. This is the in production trailer for Max's The Penguin series. I don't like saying Max.
Yeah, that's dumb.
That's so stupid.
I actually
Okay.
hated that entire sentence.
Yeah. So yes, to clarify, this is not a trailer for The Penguin. This is what they are billing as an in production teaser, which I will have thoughts about that after we watch this. But for some reason, this is like
A thing. This is the thing. for
They're
some
showing
reason.
you like camera guys and stuff inside of the trailer. So we'll be watching this one right now. So let's watch that, and then we'll discuss. So this is the trailer for The Penguin.
This is one of the
Starting off real sepia tone, so that's cool.
Oh, look, camera guys. To let you know that they're really filming it.
Max original.
What kind of life do I want?
Same logo.
What's that car logo?
The one for guys like
I
us.
just had it in my mind.
That's why we gotta take whatever we decide.
Now I have to say, whatever this trailer is, it's really setting the tone. Like this music, dark.
Very Batman.
Camera guys.
Ooh, Mike. Hey, it's the mother.
If you step out of line, even once, I'll gut you like a goddamn fish.
Colin Farrell, though.
Language.
Like, there's no way that's actually Colin Farrell.
Right?
People say in my
That makeup's
middle
way
of the
too
streets
good.
After you're gone, have it mean something.
Is he in a church?
Probably.
That looked like he was sitting on a pew
The no kingpin.
With a pew pew pew.
with a.
Like, okay, so
The Penguin.
the Penguin. So I just have to say, so one of the greatest acting performances of all time, Heath Ledger and The Dark Knight, and so much so because, at least from my perspective, no matter how many times I watch that movie, I don't believe it's actually Heath Ledger in that Joker makeup. Colin Farrell is doing the same thing here, where obviously it is Colin Farrell, but I don't actually believe that's Colin Farrell because he's doing such a good job acting.
Yeah.
Like that's not Colin Farrell. That is just the Penguin.
And the accent that he's got on himself it's like you would usually hear the actor's voice in it.
Yeah,
you don't even hear his voice.
Don't even hear it.
Yeah. So, high five, Colin Farrell. I really hope he gets some kind of award for it. He didn't get anything for the Batman, did he?
I told you, I complained about this during the thing, that it was the most under-nominated film.
Yes.
And I don't even mean that from like a fanboy perspective, but I mean like just mathematically and factually, empirically, I could show you categories that it should have been nominated for that it wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to give Pattinson like best actor or something like that. No, that's stupid. But like cinematography should have been there.
Yeah.
Sound design should have been there. Score should have been there. Farrell.
Directing.
Yeah, directing should have been there. Farrell should have been there.
Yeah. Granted, he got nominations for other things, other movies, but still, for this one, he should have gotten something. So I really hope for this series, he gets some recognition because he's going all out. It looks awesome.
That being said,
yes,
an in-production trailer is the most desperate, just please look at us I've ever seen in my entire life. And it has to be because the only thing you've read about HBO over the last 6 months has been how they're canceling everything under the sun and how they're pulling everything under the sun. There's nothing there anymore. They're not doing anything. They canceled whole movies that are already done.
Yeah.
The fact that they needed to make an in-production trailer. It's the in-production part.
Yeah. So to Josh's point,
that just feels desperate.
In that trailer we just watched, there were really only 2 shots where they showed like behind the scenes camera guys and stuff. Everything else about that, 2 minutes long trailer could have just been a regular
teaser trailer.
Yeah. Like there was no reason they had to make it an in-production trailer. So why do
we don't need to know what it's about. We just need to get a feel for the series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what we got.
And it's like, just the fact that they went out of their way to make an in-production trailer.
Yeah. Which is not a thing, by the way.
Just feels so...
Look at me. Look what I can do.
It's just so sad, really. Like, but yeah,
Christian, you're going to start voicing Elmo.
But that's the way it comes across, though. Yeah. It just like, you're Warner Brothers. Get a grip.
Max.
Yeah.
They had several grips on there.
You saw them.
Also, I'm better at Mickey.
Yeah, I thought it was Mickey Mouse.
Oh, boy.
Impressive.
Is it? All right. So, yeah, The Penguin. Good show. I think it's going to be a good show.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing.
Coming out next year.
Yeah, let's not lose sight of that. The trailer looks good.
Yeah.
Like, I'll watch the crap out of that.
And we were kind of wondering if this show really needed to be a show when it was first announced. Like, out of all the things you could spin off from the Batman, a Penguin show, really? But it looks like they're justifying that. It looks like it's going to be a good story.
Yeah.
Like the go up Josh was saying, like, he should have been nominated. So I was like, if anything out of that movie was going to be a spinoff, Penguin. Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's get into our spoiler review section, where we have 2 things to talk about. We're going to be talking about the Renfield movie and the Mandalorian Chapter 23, The Spies. And as I mentioned earlier in the episode, we're not talking about Star Trek Picard on this episode. We're going to be saving that. Stay tuned for that one. But for now, let's talk about this movie and the Mandalorian. So we're going to be starting off with Renfield.
Bloody spoilers.
Bloody spoilers. So the little synopsis for this movie, if you are not aware. Renfield, Dracula's henchman and inmate in the lunatic asylum for decades, longs for a life away from the Count, his various demands, and all of the bloodshed that comes with them. So this is a movie where Nicolas Cage plays Dracula, and Nicholas Hoult plays the lead, Renfield. And we also had some random castings. We had Awkwafina, and we had Ben Schwartz also playing some roles in this film. So I believe Christian, Josh, and I have seen this. Jason, did you get a chance to go watch this? All right. Well, don't worry about spoilers.
It's going to be a while.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about spoilers. I mean, I don't think you can really spoil this movie. It kind of is just watching Nicolas Cage playing Dracula. Like,
it'll be streaming on demand like in 3 weeks, calling it.
Yeah.
Wow. That good, huh?
Oh, no, it was amazing.
Fantastic.
Straight to TBS.
It was a great movie.
I just think
Straight
that,
to TBS.
They're not going to keep it in theaters.
I just think that everyone who wants to see it is going to see it like this week. and it's going to have a precipitous drop.
Yeah, I got you.
So this was a far better movie than it had any right to be.
Yep.
Like, it was funny. It was maybe dramatic. Maybe dramatic's not the right word. It was gory. It had a good story. It had Nick Cage.
It had a sense of heart to it.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
Like you can't like you said, drama is probably not the right word.
No, it's not.
But there was a dramatic center, and there was an emotional center.
It had good action sequences, like really good action sequences.
Yeah, the choreography in itself and the fights were probably top notch.
They leaned into the idea of being over the top.
Yeah.
And that's the best way you can describe this movie, is over the top. But in a good way. It is aware of the fact that it is being over the top.
Yeah.
It's over the top like a Tarantino movie is over the top.
And I do want to emphasize Nick Cage as Dracula. Like,
what more do you want?
What more do you want? Like, that was worth the money by itself.
All by itself.
Yes. So,
all by itself.
Yes, it was a pretty short movie too. It was an hour and a half long, which it did not drag on. It filled every single minute of that hour and a half. If it had been any longer, it might have been a little bit too long, but it was the perfect length.
It did not overstay its welcome.
Yes. And I enjoyed every second. I cannot recall a single moment in that movie where I was just like, okay, get on with it. Or this is stupid. Like every single moment I enjoyed.
Yeah. And like we said, like there were emotional beats,
Yeah.
but they didn't linger, which was good.
Yeah.
It was like,
this is not the movie for that.
Yeah, no.
It's not that kind of movie.
Like they made you feel what you needed to feel at the moment. And like, all right, and moving on. Nick Cage with his spiky teeth. Which like that was one point that I meant to bring up, was the decision to make all of his teeth just daggers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you
It's
had the
off-putting.
obvious fangs.
Yeah. It's off-putting.
All right. So let's actually just go all the way back to the beginning of the movie, where they have some pretty awesome callbacks to like OG Dracula.
Yeah, they
shows.
remade portions of old Dracula movies.
Yeah, like it was black and white. It was old school.
I mean, it was
choreography.
shot for shot.
Yeah.
Like some of the old, oh my goodness, Saruman, Christopher Lee. Some of the old Christopher Lee Dracula, like shot for shot.
Yeah,
some of the old Christopher Lee movies, and that's cool. That was really cool. And
did we see? Was there a Nosferatu reference in there?
So some of,
Kind of.
I was gonna say some of his. So he ends up in various states of decomposition for various reasons throughout the movie.
Okay.
Some of the makeup design when he's healing harkens back to the old Nosferatu.
Okay.
Look, a very angular face. The cheeks were sunken in, and then as Christian mentioned, those dagger teeth. Now, again, in this case, it's because his face is falling off, but yes,
Okay.
like there were lots of subtle hints, and
His
it
face is
respected,
want to do.
yeah, and it respected the lore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, Dracula can't enter a room if he's not invited, and he even surprises Renfield at his new apartment.
Yeah.
And Renfield's just kind of like, how did you get in? He looks down and he realizes his welcome mat says, welcome, come on in.
Oh,
That was one of the it was one of the funniest moments.
And he's
of the
just kind of
movie.
like, oh, that's my fault. You know, like, so, I mean, like it obeyed the rules of its own universe without sacrificing the ridiculousness of it.
Yeah.
And
That's fun.
Yeah. And that's the whole movie. So I adored it. I thought every bit of it was amazing.
Yeah, so early in the film, within the first 5 minutes, they're setting up the story of it. Dracula gets caught in the sunlight and like he bursts into flames and stuff. And then Renfield runs over to him and says, "Are you okay, master?" And it just gives a close-up shot of Nick Cage just burnt to a crisp, and he says, "No." Then like for the next half hour, you just see him throughout various stages of decomposition, just like perfect makeup. Like there was intense makeup, but Nicolas Cage was just owning it up. It was great acting, great makeup.
Am I the only one who wondered if maybe his Dracula costume wasn't even a costume? Like maybe those are just his clothes. Like I thought that several times.
So that's actually a good point. So Nicolas Cage is actually famous for being a past resident of New Orleans, where this film was shot. I mean, he actually owned like one of the most famous houses in New Orleans, which is actually what helped put him in debt. But it actually this actually fits his personality pretty well, because he does like that whole.
I mean, yeah, it's so obvious that you're just kind of like, how come we've never seen this before?
Yeah.
Kind of like the Big Lebowski, how that mainly most of his wardrobe was his own.
It was just him. Yeah, he just showed up and they just started filming. So no, but I mean, like it's that's actually a good way of putting it. Everyone was perfectly cast for the role that they were playing.
You did not like Ben Schwartz. So Ben Schwartz, if you're not familiar with the name, he is most famous for playing what's his name in Parks and Rec?
The annoying one.
I forget his name, but when you see
he's
him,
the
you instantly
worst.
Yeah.
That one.
I forget his name. Doesn't matter. But no, he was in this movie. That was a surprise for me, because I didn't know anyone aside from Nicholas Hoult and Nick Cage were going to be in this movie. But both Awkwafina and Ben Schwartz kind of surprised me.
Awkwafina plays the cop, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
and she did great.
Yeah,
honestly,
she was in the trailer.
Yeah, this
was in the trailer.
Whatever.
Ben Schwartz was not, though. That was a complete surprise.
Yeah. But he was playing a very Ben Schwartzy character. He was pretty over the top comedy, like all of his, like Christian mentioned earlier. It was all just punchlines and one-liners, which I did not have a problem with. I thought it added a layer of comedy that I appreciated, but
like it was already a comedy.
Yeah,
It didn't need the comic relief.
Yeah,
the movie was funny. He was the part that almost broke the movie for me. He was the part I did not care for. On the plus side, his screen time's about 10 minutes.
Yeah, he worked for me. So that's kind of just where you can differ on this.
And that is a tiny little flake of disappointment in an otherwise masterful tapestry of cinematic entertainment.
Yeah.
And also Awkwafina. Like, she was a nice touch in the movie.
Yeah.
Because aside from, Shang-Chi, her part in that movie, I could have done without her.
She was in Shang-Chi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was the friend.
She was her buddy. She was his buddy.
Yeah.
I don't
remember. She was the comic relief in that movie. But like, kind of like Ben Schwartz's character here, it was like, don't need it all the time.
Yeah. But in this movie, she was great. Yeah. Like several scenes where she was in, like she was the cause behind this, but like there were a lot of big laugh out loud moments in this movie, which I was not expecting at all.
Oh yeah.
Like
it was continuously funny.
Yeah. So yeah, she was great. I thought she balanced the comedy and everything else, responsibilities really well. But let's talk about the gore. We have not really touched on the gore.
So much of it.
There was a lot of gore.
So much gore.
A ridiculous amount. Like when in the beginning when Dracula rips the guy's throat out, and it just spurts everywhere, and I'm like, wow,
that really set the tone.
I needed that.
Yeah.
I was like, this is where we're going.
My favorite part was when he kicks the arms off that one dude and then starts beating other people with them like they were nunchucks.
And then he rips off someone's face?
Yeah, just ripped off his whole face.
On top of the arm thing, when he uses the arms as like
then he
bows.
uses them as like javelins.
Yeah.
And like pins people to the wall with arms. And so this is Renfield, by the way, not Dracula.
This is not Dracula. This is all Renfield.
Just Renfield.
So they really leaned into again, it's from the original stories, where if Renfield consumes lesser life, he is blessed with a small fraction of Dracula's abilities. And that was the trade that he made for being Dracula's servant. And this story shows what that decision looks like 100 years after you make it. Is it worth it? And the resounding answer is no. It is not worth it. It's abusive. Which is actually my favorite part of the entire movie. And they make a joke out of it, but it checks out. And this is the perfect time society-wise for it to come out, where the byline of the movie is that Renfield has figured out he's in an abusive relationship, and that Dracula does not love him, and he certainly doesn't take care of him. And it is literally a codependent relationship. And the story kicks off with Renfield in therapy discussing about how he's in this abusive relationship with his boss and he wants to get out of it. And they take that theme and they run with it the entire movie.
Yeah.
And even when Dracula talks to him, it's gaslighting. He's gaslighting him the entire time. And it's fascinating because, again, they do it as a joke, but they're being very serious. Like this is what an abusive relationship looks like. and they're just doing it through the lens of a modern interpretation of late 1800s horror, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it falls into the same realm as South Park for me. You can look at it as intelligently or as stupidly as you want to, and you'll probably be equally entertained no matter which way you decide to do it. If you want to go for the gore and the violence, you're going to have a great time. If you want to go for social commentary on interpersonal relationships, you're going to have a great time. Like it's weird. It's weird, but it's true.
Yeah.
What was the screen time for Cage versus Nick? What's his name?
Nicholas Hoult.
Hoult.
Cage is probably in about
probably a third of it.
Yeah, I was going to say no more than 30 minutes of the movie. Yeah. It is very much Renfield's movie.
Okay.
And that's part of the reason why I think it works. Because even Nicolas Cage's Dracula does not overstay his welcome.
And I will say, I mean, I feel like Nick Cage was in there more than I was expecting him to be in there. I think he had a bigger role. Like I was kind of expecting him to play kind of a background character. No, he was a lead of the movie, but definitely not as much as Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah, it built on the premise really well, where you didn't need him that much, and so every time he came back into screen, you were like, oh yeah, there it is. This is what Renfield's talking about.
Yeah, because it's not about the terrible things Dracula is doing. It's about how terrible he is to Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's interesting, and you can watch it on whatever level you want to watch it on. And that's why I think it works so well. So no, I liked it. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I do look forward to watching it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Highly recommend. That's not clear enough yet. Highly recommend. If you've been missing Nick Cage, which I know a lot of us have, definitely go watch this one, because this is a good Nick Cage movie. He is top of his game, I think. Like, it's ridiculous Nick Cage, but he's good acting.
But it's not, oh my God, the bees, Nick Cage.
No.
No, this is really solid Nick Cage.
And that's the one thing for me. Nick Cage was always just like Nick Cage in everything.
See, I disagree with that.
No matter what.
I disagree.
In my eyes, I just saw like, oh, that's Nick Cage. Oh, he's in Gone in 60 Seconds. And then he was in something else. Or like from Face Off to Gone in 60 Seconds to something else. I'm like, that's just Nick Cage, because he just had like a cadence to his voice that I just always heard. But as in, like we talked about in Colin Farrell, this one, excellent. Didn't see it. His mannerisms too much, to where I was just like, okay, he's really into this role. Didn't hear the cadence in his voice. He dealt with the very soft and old age Dracula. Yeah, I love that.
How fun! That's cool.
Yes. No. Love Nick Cage. Love this movie. Love everybody in this movie, I guess, except for Ben Schwartz. No. All right, so let's review this one. Let's give it some scores. So, where's my sheet? All right. So obviously Jason's not scoring this yet because he has not seen it. But so on this previous recording of this episode,
give it an NA.
Oh,
not
NA. So prior to recording, we were bouncing back and forth on what to actually give this movie. We couldn't decide if we were going to give it a 4 or 5. And at one point, I actually gave it a 5. Then I actually bumped it down to a 4 after discussing it further with Josh. So I have landed on a 4 out of 5 for Renfield, because it's not a perfect movie. And yet again, I did say I don't think there was a single moment in this movie that I did not enjoy. But it's not like an Oscar-worthy film. It's just a fun time. So I have to give it a 4 out of 5. It's really solid. Highly recommend. Just it's not a 5. But Josh,
I'm gonna use the phrase that Christian used the last time we tried to record this, which was, for what it is a 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Like, if you understand what this movie is supposed to be, it's a 5 out of 5. That said, on the grand scheme of things, it's a lot of fun. It's a blast. If you watch the trailer and you think you would like that movie, you'll like it. If you watch that trailer and you thought that looks like the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my entire life, you'll probably hate it. The trailer was a very accurate representation of what this film is. Very solid 4 out of 5.
Yeah. And Christian.
For what?
Well, yeah. For what?
Sorry. 4 vampiric husks out of 5.
Ugh. Husks.
Yeah. Anyway, Christian.
I get to see what that's about.
Too many S's. But yeah, like Josh said, like how I said, I saw the movie for what it for what it was.
To quote myself.
Saw the movie for what it was. All the other things that like I found that were, I guess, quote unquote, troubling didn't matter.
It's not the kind of movie where that stuff matters.
It doesn't matter. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Loved Nicolas Cage on his as Josh's terms, Cage-assance, or what'd you say?
The Cage-assance.
The Cage-assance.
Yeah, Nick Cage is coming back to the big screen, and I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I need some more of this.
It's getting a 5 out of 5.
Yeah, Christian's a 5 out of 5. So that puts us, with all 3 of our scores averaged together, a 4.33 out of 5. Super solid. Love it.
Feels right there.
Please go watch it while it's in theaters. It's a good one. All right, Maestro.
I'll try. Okay, sorry.
No. All right, let's finish this out. Our last segment of this episode, we are doing a spoiler review of The Mandalorian Chapter 23, The Spies. First question, who are the spies?
I definitely only saw one spy.
Yeah.
There's an obvious spy, but I still haven't thought of the word yet. There's a word for it that I'm thinking about, but I have a double agent in mind. But we'll save that for the end.
That's a good observation. So, the spy was in there for like 2 minutes at the beginning, and that was it.
Was that the Imperial soldier?
It was what's her name?
Yeah, I can't remember her name.
I can't remember
the
her
one
name.
that could beat you up.
Elia Kane.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one with the Captain America haircut.
So yeah, the episode opened up with Elia Kane, the officer we saw previously in other seasons as an Imperial officer, but she was
the double agent.
She was reformed to be.
But she was a double agent,
an officer for the New Republic, but now she's obviously a double agent.
Unless since
triple agent.
That's what I was gonna say. Unless because the Empire is still technically there.
Is she both spies?
She's a triple agent, not a double agent.
Oh my god! Oh, what is she? Both spies?
Oh my god!
She is the spies.
Anyway, the episode opens up with her contacting Moff Gideon via hologram. So we finally get a reappearance of Moff Gideon. We have not seen him. We've heard of him since the last season. We finally got him.
Did he shave? Is he missing a mustache?
He does look different, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think it is the mustache. Yeah,
I missed the mustache.
Yeah, I think he showed up on set and they were just like, "Oh, you shaved your mustache," and he probably looked them dead in the face. Was just like,
"I don't remember him having a mustache.
Is that a problem?"
And
what are you going to do about it?
Anyway, so yeah, she calls him up via the holograms, and
it was nice seeing an old probe droid.
Yeah, right.
That was neat.
It's a very Star Warsy thing. It was nice to see that.
Up until then, it was looking kind of cyberpunky.
Yeah,
but the droid sold it.
Yeah. So yeah, she was informing him that the Mandalorians are getting back together, and he should be a little worried because he knows that when they get together, they're a force to be reckoned with. So
I mean, he had trouble with one Mandalorian.
Yeah.
This is like 50. several hundred.
Yeah,
Mandalorians.
And so worth noting that within those like first 2 minutes of this episode, it's tying a whole lot of things together from this season.
Which, by the way, I called.
You did.
I was just like, yeah, last 2 episodes are going to tie everything together. Like, in an annoying fashion. And
yeah, we spent 6 episodes just like patting Bo-Katan on the back. Like, hey, you're good. You're a good person.
Hey, you'd be a heck of a leader for the Mandalorians. Wink, wink.
Nudge, nudge.
And then, I will say, as soon as he hangs up that hologram, Moff Gideon has the most epic walking music of all time.
Yeah, through his overly shielded hallway.
Yeah,
what are they worried about?
The nonsensical laser walls.
Yes. Good Lord. He handled it better than most Jedi do, though.
Well, if you see, it makes sense
Episode 1.
when you think about where we ended up at the end of the episode of what we're seeing at the beginning. Because he's on Mandalore.
Yeah.
Oh! Didn't even put it together. Oh! You're right, though. He is. So let's cut to that part. So
okay.
By the way, spoilers.
Yeah, okay. No, so I mean it's we can skip around a little bit, but I mean the gist is Mandalorian showed up on Navarro, Dave Navarro or whatever, and
Right.
Mandalorian fleet. They have a fleet now, by the way. Showed up, and they all decided they're going to go home and get their home back, and so they do after begrudgingly sharing a feast, which had to have been weird because half of them don't take their helmets off to eat.
I thought about that.
So they would have been excusing themselves to go eat.
And I feel like there's only so many places you can go in that big open desert.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping like half of the non-helmet taker offers was going to start. We're going to take off their helmets.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping they would.
I was kind of hoping for that.
Yeah,
but they didn't.
Hey, those guys don't have helmets on, and they didn't fall over dead. That's weird.
Right.
But it was kind of
I'm
like
gonna try it.
A tense moment when they like lined up and they all started taking their helmets off, and you see Paz just like bow up. Like, oh, what's about to happen? Is he that offended?
Y'all gonna come to my house?
It's like pescatarians trying to go to church with Baptists. It's real awkward.
What?
What are we even talking about? Anyway, so all those Mandalorians are together for the first time. We get an awkward stare off.
Yeah,
But they got over it.
They got over it, I
Yeah.
guess.
They
I mean, sort of. It wasn't really that much.
They just didn't
time.
talk to each other.
Yeah.
whatever the beef was, they grilled it up and ate it.
Yeah.
And so they go back to
I just got that.
Well, Grogu had to step in.
So-
Grogu had to step in.
yeah, Grogu. Well, that was
Okay, well,
that was later on.
That was a little later on.
That was later. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But still on this planet, we find out that the magistrate, that's his name, the magistrate,
High magistrate.
has a gift.
Yeah, High Magistrate.
Has a gift for Din, and it is the
IG-11.
IG-11.
IG-11, or was it 12?
It's
Well,
12 now.
It's 12.
IG-12. As a little mech suit for Grogu. For no reason whatsoever,
Grogu's little exoskeleton.
except for maybe some comedic effect. It served no purpose.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm glad you said that. It was fun in this episode. It was funny. It got a laugh. It's one of those things I hope doesn't last long.
Yeah.
I didn't. It's like it's neat and funny for one episode. If you drag it out, it's gonna get annoying, and I'm already over it.
Well, the writers probably look back and were just like, oh yeah, Grogu hasn't done anything but be cute.
Hey, remember that plot line we started with IG-10 and then just immediately forgot? What if we brought those together?
Or like the tease that we had earlier in the season where you thought he was moving the rocks, but it was just like crabs.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, he hasn't done anything since then. Let's give him a mech.
It was cute, though. No.
It
No.
was.
No. Yes. Yes, what? Yes. Yes.
Yeah, the interaction between the Mandalorian and Grogu when they're walking down the bizarre street, that was pretty funny.
This isn't working for me.
Yeah, I just think it was just like a way to move Grogu along without him being a problem.
He
Right.
had the little hovery thing.
It
This is
still
Todd.
would be a problem. It's like something to blend him in.
Okay, so I want something to happen next episode, and if it doesn't, I'm going to be pissed.
Okay.
I want Grogu to be part of the rescue team who goes after Din. By the way, Din gets arrested or captured. I want him to be part of it. I want him to be in the little mech suit and
Just
using
goes
using a combination of the controls and the Force. He goes full General Grievous out there and just starts hacking things up and
That'd be
like
amazing.
flipping around like Yoda and stuff.
Well, here's what's really going to happen. It's going to be like Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Yeah.
Just awkward boxing moves.
Right.
No,
Yeah,
no,
that could be fun.
no.
All right, so let's get to Mandalore. So they put together a party of Mandalorians, and they went down to the surface of Mandalore to explore and find the Forge. Is that what they were calling it? The
Yeah.
Forge?
Yes, the Forge.
The Great Forge.
Which was the mecca of Mandalorian-ness.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Their gear's pretty important to them.
So they come across some
Land pirates.
some land pirates, some survivors.
Pirate Mandalore might be my favorite aesthetic of Mandalorians, though.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Like the torn up rags and stuff like that, like mixed in with the armor and
Yeah.
stuff. Like they look pretty badass. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So I was kind of on board for it. In fact, it reminded me of my little Boba Fett
Pick it up. I don't think it's going to be in camera. Pick it
Yeah,
up.
my little. Oh no, his little gun fell out. But I got this from Sideshow Collectibles, but it was like a little. They call it their legacy series or their master series or something like that. But it's not necessarily from any appearance. It's just what artists think that character would look like in a given situation. And so this was a reflection of what Boba Fett's time on Tatooine probably looked like. So he's got the big garb and the robes and so that, but it's still all of his armor. But anyway, it reminded me of that. And that's just really cool. Like if I ever do a Mando suit one day, I think mine will be Desert Survival Mando.
Pirate Mando.
Mando. All right. So they go to find the Forge with these new rescued Mandalorians. They come across Godzilla, which is cool. I mean,
which I thought would be a bigger thing than it was.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, they scrubbed right through that.
Yeah, like it was cool. It was great. And it looked spectacular. But yeah, I kind of thought it was going to be a thing, and it wasn't a thing.
Yeah,
they were just kind of like, "Oh no, well, guess we're going on foot."
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, we're right here, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, where we're going, it's right here.
Look, son of a gun. Here's the tunnel. Yeah. So but that's been kind of an issue with this series since the start. Like and I think it's a side effect of the 30-minute runtime. There is a lot of plot points of convenience in this show. Like it's never enough to break it.
It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, but like I have definitely noticed a few times where I was just kind of like, well, that worked out.
What was it? Convenient.
Yeah. So I don't. Anyway, so they go down into the Who's What's It, and they find the big forge. And right around the time they're feeling pretty good about themselves, they get attacked by like clone
Beskar
trooper
dark
Mandalorian baby things.
What? Where'd the baby come from?
Well, no, I mean, if a Mandalorian and a stormtrooper had a baby,
I gotcha.
This is what it would look like.
And you know, that part made me laugh because he goes, jetpacks. I'm like, okay. What does that mean?
Well, they thought it was other Mandalorians at first.
It just the delivery I think was funny.
Oh, okay.
They were talking and then they suddenly look up and go jetpacks. Okay,
it's a bird. It's a plane.
So bringing us to the point that Jason brought up, they are all of a sudden coming across a big Imperial outpost.
Built into Mandalore, which I guess is where Moff Gideon's been this entire freaking time. Like
this chill,
right?
Yeah, this is not like a new setup. This has been there for a minute.
Yeah, established.
And so,
which of course this explains the Beskar medal in the Lambda shuttle.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah,
bringing that to a close.
It was not Mandalorians.
Yeah, it was.
It was his troopers wearing the new Beskar suits.
Yeah,
which is also why it was very difficult for the Mandalorians to take those guys out. Because their armor was just as good as theirs.
Yeah.
And Gideon has a full suit.
Oh, looks so good.
With his evil Mandalorian helmet, which was cool. So, yeah.
Yes.
And then
they captured.
And then they captured Din, which was what I was going to say.
Djarin.
So, I am so worried. I was so worried in that moment because we know that
they were going to kill him?
Yes, we know that he's been getting pushed back from the front of the series as the lead because Bo-Katan's kind of been taking over. I was kind of worried this was going to be their moment to kind of like get rid of him completely. Thankfully, they have not done that yet. But I was like tense. I was like, oh my God, this does not look good.
But speaking of the capturing, that leads into my theory, Jason.
Oh, Christian has a theory and it blew my mind.
Because the episode's called The Spies. We see the first spy in the beginning of the episode.
He was the second spy.
The second spy, I think it's the armorer. Because if you go back to where Bo-Katan's giving the speech, like, need people to come, everybody stands up, boom, 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 boom. She's the last one to be like, yeah, I'll go. Everybody's like, oh, well, that's cool.
But then
they get down there and they go actually venturing off. And she's like, I'll go back and bring these injured people.
Yeah.
And I just felt that it was kind of sus. Because you wanted to go, but didn't want to do anything. Cool.
Yeah. You didn't want to see the Forge?
Yeah.
That would be kind of a big deal for her.
The one thing that she's... Yeah.
That's your whole thing.
So I think you're right, but not because of any conclusion of my own.
What?
And this is why I hate the internet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so the internet told you that. Did Christian come to this
Well,
independently?
No, I thought about that.
Oh,
during the episode.
So no, and they made like this is the thing that ruined like when Luke shows up at the end of last season.
Yeah,
somebody had a thumbnail of Luke Skywalker for the last episode. I'm like, when they review, I'm like, come on. So I accidentally saw a picture of somebody circling the horns on the Grand Moff's helmet and the horns on her helmet.
Yeah.
Oh, like, I didn't notice that.
They're almost the exact same helmet.
Yeah.
Exactly. And somebody says, this is the spy. I'm like, oh, for crying out loud.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So my theory.
So I think you're right.
Yeah. My theory, piggybacking off of Christian's theory, they had unnecessary scenes showing her going back to the fleet.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason to show her contacting the fleet and saying she's about to board. I'm thinking she doesn't have the wounded with her, or at least not just the wounded. I think she's going to dock on the cruiser, open up the bay doors, and she's going to have a load of the new troopers with her. And they're going to take the ship.
Because remember, Moff Gideon's big threat right now is the Mandalorians. And so if this is his in to getting rid of them from the inside, perfect excuse.
So I think he used her to orchestrate getting all the Mandalorians together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Because she was pushing to that.
Oh, that goes back to that episode where she put Bo-Katan in charge of reconnecting everybody. She was really driving that forward.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which really makes no sense for her character because she's all about the way. And that sect does not follow the way. Why would she suddenly be so okay with joining?
Corey, you're just getting your mind blown tonight.
Well, it's not so much that. It's, I mean, yeah, I am. But it's also kind of like through this entire season, we've kind of been thinking nothing's really mattering so far in the story. But I'm kind of wondering at the end of the season, are we going to look back and see every single episode had something really significant happen that just didn't realize at the time?
You're going to
this might be one of those
We're going
things
to get Tarantino.
They're better the second time watching it.
Yeah, like you'll see things.
Like once you know the
time.
ending,
and
you go back. Yeah,
it's
possible.
Or we just came up with the best theories of all time. They don't follow through.
Yeah, no, we were all joking that whatever they do next week isn't going to live up to this. And we're going to man, we could have done it better.
Yeah,
but
so okay, is next episode the last one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, they got a lot of loose ends to tie up.
Yeah,
exactly.
So there's probably going to be some cliffhangers, but we'll see. So speaking of things to tie up, the very last thing that happened in this episode made me tear up a little bit. It was Gatling gun guy going out like a champ.
Yeah.
So while other Mandalorians were escaping, he held off all the Imperial troopers with his Gatling gun, going out like a boss. The last thing he says is, "This is the way," which was just perfect. He takes all of them out, and then in the most epic entrance of all time, the Imperial Guards show up.
Epic. Like goosebumps.
Yes.
Like the Imperial Guards from Kylo Ren's.
Yes.
No, from Snoke's. Snoke's
yeah,
Imperial
Snoke's,
Guards.
yeah.
Correct.
The red.
Yeah, the red people.
The Praetorians.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Praetorians, yes.
Yeah, that one hit me pretty hard.
Yeah, whoever scored this episode, they went all the way back into the true Star Wars entrance themes. That was so good.
Yeah,
harken back to the Duel of the Fates.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they didn't hide the fact that Gatling gun guy is not going to be making another appearance. Like, no, he's gone.
Nope.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. He died on screen.
I will say that we need to make more of those guns.
Yeah, why is he the only one with the big
He was
gun?
the only one that was doing any level of effective damage against the new Dark Troopers.
Yeah,
that's true.
Well, to be fair though, they've never gone up against another enemy that has Beskar and
that's
Beskar
true. That's
armor.
true. That's kind of been their thing.
Yeah. So,
you know what? And speaking of the gun, I like the detail of it overheating.
Yeah, that was
right.
But he kept going,
cool.
and then clubbed people to death with it. Okay, I think we had it wrong the whole time. He was the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, come on. Din got captured.
Yeah, what a sucker.
It's not a very Mandalorian thing to do.
Oh, I don't know if anybody noticed, but when he gets stabbed from the front the first time, he pulls them in and stabs himself even more just so he can knock that guy out.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, he wins.
Yeah, Paz was a beast.
Yeah. This is the way.
This is the way.
Yeah, that one hit me hard because for 2 seasons now, he's kind of been building up as we thought was going to be kind of a guy that got in Din's way, but ended up being the big hero. So That was a nice little
He
character
was
arc.
the way.
He was the way.
I have spoken.
So yeah, that was chapter 23 of The Mandalorian. Let's score it. So, Jason, why don't you go first? As a reminder, we are doing this episodically. So we are scoring each episode individually and then averaging everything together to give us a season score as a whole. So, Jason, for chapter 23, The Spies, what are you giving it?
I still have a problem with some loose ends that I don't think are going to get resolved, like the doctor's story.
Yeah, he was mentioned.
I think
but we haven't.
Right, he was mentioned.
Yeah,
and I think that was the end of his story. And I'm like, that was a lot of time for a waste.
Yeah,
we'll see. But because of that, I was going to give this a 5, but I'm going to give this one a 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to give this a 4. Well, not a 5. I was going to give it above a 4. I'm just going to have it a 4.
Okay.
Like a 4.2, but 4, yeah.
I'm giving this episode a solid 5. I thought it was a perfect episode for The Mandalorian. I think it had a little bit of everything. It had the comedic effect. It had the action. It had the big emotional moments. I think it had everything. It had everything. It had storylines coming together. So I thought it was a good, solid episode to almost wrap up the season up with one more episode to go. So I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. Christian.
I don't know if I mentioned it earlier. I brought it up earlier. But I got into watching the first season of The Mandalorian.
Nice.
Just to get some context.
Oh, good.
And you see the Doctor, the first seasons.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, okay. So he's been here for a minute. So it wasn't just like out of nowhere to see like a full episode of him. But yeah, comparatively to the other episode and see where it's gotten now. I kind of like you, Corey. I'm like in between 4 and 5. It definitely didn't linger. So that was nice. A lot of like intrigue in the episode, but I think I'll give this one a 5 too.
Nice.
Yeah.
It
hit
choice.
Pretty well.
And Josh, take us home.
5 best Scar helmets out of 5.
There it is. All right. So,
one more thought. I got to throw one more thought in.
Yeah, throw it.
And I'm wondering if this is a deep cut throwback of nostalgia.
Okay.
Because I would be surprised if Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau have not seen the original Tron. Have any of you seen the original Tron?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I didn't know. All right.
No.
Do you remember when he gets into like that floating tank thing, and there's this little floating ball that helps him, and it says yes, no, and the only way that it helps him is he can answer a yes or no question. And it made me. I'm wondering if like the yes or the no was kind of a from Grogu's suit was a throwback to that little thing.
Huh.
I don't know. It just
maybe.
I feel like this had a lot of like old movie throwbacks. Like the beginning reminded me of Blade Runner.
It did.
Yeah.
That's
what I'm saying. It was very cyberpunk.
Yeah.
And Tron was a Disney property, so who knows?
All right. Well, averaging all those new scores together, our updated score for season 3 of The Mandalorian so far is a 4.29 with 1 episode to go. So hopefully this season finishes strong. So stay tuned for next week, where we are giving our full season review of The Mandalorian, as well as our full season review of Picard Season 3. And we're talking about... What are we talking about next week?
Comic-Con.
Oh, the Comic-Con. Yeah, Jason will be here.
Yeah.
Star Trek.
That big
Star Trek. Yeah. As a reminder, if you're going to be in Huntsville this coming weekend and you're going to be at the Comic-Con, don't forget to come say hi to Jason, Christian, and Josh. I will not be there, so have fun.
We'll be walking around.
I'll be there
We'll have
Sunday. I
USN.
think I'll be there Saturday. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then yeah. So that's our podcast. Don't forget to click some subscribe buttons.
Subscribe. Share.
Yeah, shares.
Leave comments.
We got some big stuff coming.
Big stuff coming. No, for real. We got big stuff coming.
Like insulin pump. Big.
What? Are you saying it's sweet?
It's predisposed to type 1 diabetes. So big.
It's not getting better.
It's not. We're just gonna end it now. So, yeah, please click and subscribe and follow us everywhere and comment. Please comment if you're liking what we're doing, and come say hi if you can see us in person. And don't forget to keep listening as more episodes come out. So, before next week's episode, Jason, what should nerds be doing?
Nerds, they should be subscribing.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
That's a
Yeah,
good one.
they should be commenting and liking and
Excellent.
sharing.
Excellent choice.
But mostly, they should eat, sleep, nerd.
Take it easy, people.